Vikki loved her garden, which was great for me, as I'm no gardener. My job was to cut the lawn. In our 28 years in Keel Close, she remodelled the garden from a boring square of lawn with a few plants round the edge into a space full of interest and personal touches. She built a patio. She worked hard at creating beautiful shapes and plants that would keep interest throughout the seasons. She worked at dry stone walling. She built a pond, twice. She was so happy when a newt and a frog moved in. She got some gnomes and created a home for them. In the summer they stayed out all day, but they went indoors every night. Really. She fed the birds. She created a hedgehog feeding station and made sure there were holes in the fences so that the hedgehogs could wander freely. She installed water butts and tried several different water collectors until she found ones she was happy with. We didn't use tap water in the garden, ever. She wasn't an expert. She told me so. Yet she always seemed to know far more about plants than anyone else we knew, including many botanical names I'd never heard of. During COVID lockdown, she decided it was time to create a meadow. Not a big meadow, but it worked. She loved designing, creating, and making things. In the home, she rebuilt the downstairs toilet. Everything from tiling the walls to fitted cupboards and plumbing in a new toilet. She refitted the utility room while I was going to work. I didn't notice for a week. She enlarged the trapdoor into the roof space and fitted a drop-down loft ladder. She wanted a shoe caddy in our tiny hall and couldn't find one small enough to fit. So she bought a 3-tier one from IKEA and remodelled it into 2 tiers, which fitted the space perfectly. And of course, she made all our curtains. Oh, and she decorated the hall, stairs and landing. Occasionally I helped, but I was only ever the labourer, never the designer. I'm not sure what an eco-warrior is, but I think she was one. She hated waste. No unnecessary plastic was allowed in our house. No food was wasted. What we didn't eat was composted. Our general waste wheelie bin never had more than 12 inches of rubbish in it every 2 weeks, often less. She hated litter and stationary cars with engine running. Like most of us, she hated bad news and wanted journalists to spend more time telling us about the good things in the world. She wanted a fairer world. She struggled with guilt because she couldn't support all the charities and good causes which wanted to put the world right. However, the child within was never far from the surface. She liked her cuddly toys, Roald Dahl stories, including our Willy Wonka and BFG duvet covers, Winnie the Pooh, and Christmas with its messages of hope and goodwill. She had a great sense of humour and an infectious laugh and a smile which lifted my spirits every time I saw it. She loved her clothes and jewellery, but nothing expensive, just things that looked nice. Above all, she never wanted anything. She was happy and content with what she had and never asked for more. It took me all my time to persuade her to have an expensive sewing machine which matched her ability. She loved family. She loved friends. She loved live entertainment. She loved the sewing school. She loved the craft groups. She loved the church band, especially the remedial practice sessions with Charles Melly, the euphonium player. She cried at sad news and sentimental films. She loved people. I know the analogy of our lives being like ripples on a pond which gradually die away after we've gone is probably a bit old hat. But she made waves in my life which will never be smoothed over. God bless you, wife.